You know that feeling when you've had a friend that you could trust seemingly for the rest of your life, and you've had this friend and suddenly they just come right behind you and leave you in the dust, taking you for granted and completely blindsiding your trust, blindsiding the love, the relationship that you had for them. Let me tell you a story. This is a story about how I was backstabbed for literally 2 full years straight. 2 years straight where my friend went behind my back and I knew nothing about it. Alright, so I was in high school, right? I'm a junior in college now, so this was like 900 years ago. But I was in high school, and not many of my friends from middle school went to the high school that I went to. So I had to make some new friends, and I made this one new friend who I thought was pretty weird. He had like a weird mannerism about him. Like he had just like weird, something was just weird about him. He moved weird. He just looked weird. You know what I'm trying to say? But I made friends with him because he was nice to me. I was nice to him, and we got along quite well. We had some of our classes together, but we had this one class in particular that I will never forget because it was a great professor, and we had this class for 2 years straight. This teacher for 2 years straight, teaching the same subject pretty much. In my first year, it was physical science, and in my second year, it was biology. And it was in the same room. Now, this class was hard compared to middle school classes, but it wasn't that hard to adjust to. I had to adjust to it. I had to start studying. But you know, it was a hard class. It was a high school science class, and my school was known for STEM stuff. Now, in this class, I would sit next to this friend for pretty much the entire year. The entire year, I would just sit next to my friend. We would dilly daddle, or whatever the phrase is. We would mess around, tell jokes, whisper, and we would work hard together on our school projects. But as we were trying to lock in, as we were trying to focus on what our teacher was saying, there was always this smell. There was always this smell. And my friend would be the first one to notice the smell, because he would sit to my right, I would sit to the left. We were like this. And the smell seemed to come from the right. And it was a terrible smell. It was a terrible smell, and I was like, dude, I don't know if you're smelling what I'm smelling, but I'm about to throw up. That smells terrible. Like, that smells like just straight Duke. And my friend always had an outrageous reaction, and he looked at me, he goes, dude, what is that? He did that every time. Every single time the smell came around, he did that to me, and I would react the same way, trying to match his energy. I'll be like, oh, dude, what is that smell? And this seemed to happen every other day for the remainder of the year. And we were both trying to figure out where the smell came from. Was it the girls that sat next to us over at the other table? Was it the leaky pipe? Was it a manufacturing error in the room? We were theorizing, we were coming up with ideas about what this smell could be, but we never got to the bottom of it. Flash forward to the next year. Luckily, I was in the same class as him the next year, and we would smell the same smell because our biology class, taught by the same professor in the same room, in the same seating arrangement, we would just keep smelling the smell, and it was hilarious. I don't know exactly why, but it was just hilarious that there was this dangerously headache-causing smell that was coming towards us that would just make us laugh. It was just funny. Why does it smell so bad? Like, it's just kind of funny. And so I'm smelling this smell. I'm like, dude, I'm puzzled. I'm like, where is this coming from? And my friend's like, dude, I hate to be the one to say this, but is it you? I'm like, no, it's not me making the smell. Is it you? He's like, no, I think it must be the pipes. I have no idea what it is about this room, but there's just something wrong. There is something up with this room. Now, I've always been a gullible person. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've always been the one to fall for tricks easily. But then COVID hit. COVID was the time where we didn't have classes because of COVID. It was quarantine, so we were all online. So we didn't get to spend the rest of the semester in this room. But flash forward back to when we came to school, I'm like, oh, I see my friend again. My dear friend, right? I see my friend, we're reminiscing on old times, the times that we've missed in the past year that we were on lockdown. And I'm like, dude, remember that time where for 2 years straight we just smell that smell in that one class? And it was terrible. It was so funny that it was terrible. And he was like, oh yeah, that was me. What? What'd he say? Am I hearing this right? He's like, yeah, it was me. I'm like, no. I must be hearing things because we thought it was the pipes. The pipes that used to make sounds in the room every now and then. And it would just it came from the pipes, right? Like I'm not hallucinating. It must have come from the pipes because the smell of the pipes breaking and the liquids falling out, it came from the pipes. There's no way a smell that bad could come from you. No, it came from me, bro. And he just smiles. He smiles at me. I'm like, what? You must be joking. This is a funny joke, right? I know you've been a jokester. I know we joke around. We're the ones that make each other laugh most of the day, every day for high school. This must be a joke. He says, no, that was me. I was farting in your face and I was blaming it on the pipes. And suddenly I look into the void. I don't answer his questions. I don't respond to anything he says. I look straight at him, but he's not there. It's just a void. It's a black hole. And I'm like, wow. So for 2 straight years, this man has been emanating a disgusting smell right into my face, blowing it right into my face. And I would just have no idea where it came from. I had some suspicions, but I had trust in this friend. This was a friend that I would know for a lifetime. And he just betrayed me. And suddenly my world crumbled. I was like, how could this be? How could I fall for this trick for 2 years in a row? And as I'm thinking about this, as every concept I had of this smell in my mind seemed to break and just lose focus, my friend goes on about his day, smiling and laughing at me like a clown. Like I am a clown. So maybe I am a clown. Maybe I was in the wrong for putting too much trust in my so-called friend. But the message I wanted to tell you guys today is that when there's a smell in your life and you don't know where it's coming from, always be suspicious, always be ready.